Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, here with some rumors to get into. And let's begin with one Dak Prescott because, well, of course, right? There was the report from Slater that Dak wants big money and respect and wants to come in behind Mahomes on the contract. Yes, guys, 4 stars on this one. And this is partially on me for being surprised to begin with, but why were you guys surprised? I was surprised by everyone's reaction. Yes, Dak Prescott wants to get paid right behind what Patrick Mahomes made. That shouldn't come as a surprise. Now, Slater also said that Stephen Jones and Todd France have spoken. That's a very good sign, by the way, although there's nothing meaningful with those two talks. But Stephen Jones and Todd France, well, they don't like each other very much. So any talks I'm going to go with are good. But overall, guys, none of this is actually new. None of this. Of course, Dak Prescott wants to get paid behind Patrick Mahomes. If you have watched any of our Dak Prescott videos over the past, well, since the season ended, you guys should know, and even going back to last year and before that, Dak Prescott wants a market deal. Folks, do you want to see what the market deal is? We should know what this is. It is more than Deshaun Watson. When Dak Prescott is staring down a franchise tag worth almost $38 million, and he could enter free agency next year where the contract could get out of control. The market is more than Deshaun Watson, which means it's less than Patrick Mahomes. It is somewhere between $45 million, we'll call it $44 million, and more than Deshaun Watson, call it $39.5. Somewhere in between there is what Dak Prescott is worthy of getting on the open market. Because Dak Prescott and Deshaun Watson, guys, they're not that different. These are both really good franchise caliber quarterbacks. One of them just happened to win a national title for Clemson. What they've done in their NFL careers, there's no difference whatsoever. So yes, guys, Dak wants to get big money. This should not be a surprise whatsoever. So I'll ask this question again. What is the most that you would pay Dak Prescott per year? If your answer is, I'm going to do this amount but not go $2 million more, I'm of the mindset, folks, it's a franchise quarterback. The difference between, let's say, 44 and even 40 doesn't really matter. Get your quarterback. Let me know what you guys think. The most you would pay Dak Prescott per year. I want to emphasize this point again because the Cowboys themselves don't seem to fully get it. Ladies and gentlemen, the market in the quarterback contract world goes up each and every single year. So yes, it would be ideal to find a way to get Dak to sign a $38 million deal or a $36 million deal. But that's last year's going rate. It is not possible to pay a healthy Dak Prescott, which the Cowboys seem to believe is going to be the case, last year's rate. So you cannot be like, oh, I don't want to pay him 42. Man, I'd love to get him for 36, though. That was last year's rate. Folks, you miss the window for that. The longer you go, the longer you wait to pay your franchise quarterback, or frankly, any player, the more expensive it becomes. Yes, it is costly. You know what's more costly? Letting Dak hit the open market, where free agency is a windfall for any player, and if a under the age of 30 franchise quarterback coming off another good year, oh man, guys, he might get more than Mahomes on the open market, if that were to end up being the case. So will the Cowboys just get it done, bite the bullet, and pay Dak Prescott an overpay right now, which in 2 years won't seem all that bad? Is that going to happen? This is the pinned comment on today's video. It is Y for yes or N for no. Let's talk the injury side then for Dak Prescott, because these things do go hand in hand after all. Is Dak going to be good to go by April? Yeah, probably. Look, rehab's pretty weird. Sometimes there are setbacks, whatever, but that's the expectation. The report from Mike Fisher, Dak's going to be 100% or could be 100% by April. He'll be involved in the offseason program. As a reminder, just to recap briefly here, Dak had surgery for his ankle injury back in October, then had a second procedure done in December, which allegedly put him back, a week or two or whatever, even though I think he just rehabbed a little bit too hard and had to go in and get it repaired long term, but not something to be overly concerned about. So again, the update here, right? Dak, 100% by April, should be involved in the offseason program. Much like our previous Dak story, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? Here's our injury timeline, which we've shown you guys several times before. Look at that last note. Mid-April. That is the end of the initial 4 to 6 month recovery timetable from his ankle or his broken ankle back in on October 12th. We got the surgery a couple of days later, so we'll call it mid-April is that 6th month ending. Guys, none of this is actually new once again. That's what was planned. So anyone going like, oh my God, Dak wants borderline Mahomes money, or oh my God, mid-April's the timetable. Like we knew all that, right? I know not everyone did because not all of you guys are subscribed, but we knew all of those things. So yeah, Dak should be back by the end of April. He should be involved in the offseason program. The Cowboys and Dak's side, everyone but one guy out there, says everything's going according to plan for the rehab process. I still feel very confident in Dak Prescott's return. This is not an Alex Smith type of injury, guys. Frankly, I would be more concerned if it was a torn ACL or if it was a busted shoulder. It's a broken ankle. He'll be able to rehab just fine, and he's already out of the boot, walking. He's at the facility, all that stuff. So what is your confidence level, then, in a Dak Prescott return? Rate this for me on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, if you feel high about a Dak Prescott recovery and or the Cowboys finally paying him, I would recommend putting some money on the Cowboys to win the NFC East over with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Link is right there, bottom of your screen, and use that promo code you see as well. That is Cowboys125. Cowboys right now, minus 120. They are the betting favorite to win the NFC East, which, I mean, makes perfect sense, right? And if you feel good about that, the odds are probably only going to go up. You're not going to get better return on your investment there than you would right now. So head over to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code Cowboys125. Let's talk Jourdan Lewis and Chidobe Awuzie now, both pending free agents for the Dallas Cowboys. And there was a report, or at least a note by Todd Archer of ESPN, that Lewis is quote-unquote, would appear more likely to return. That's interesting to me. Now, obviously, both these guys are free agents. I think a prove-it deal, frankly, for both guys makes the most sense, but I'm very curious if that would actually end up being the case. Now, before we dive too far into this, if you're wondering, hold up, what exactly are the 2 stars? What does that mean? Allow us to explain the Cowboys Report rumor meter. 0 stars, it is Carson Wentz playoff wins. Folks, there's 0 of them. It's fake news. Don't believe it. 1 star is a small shred of truth there, but it's maybe not. Probably not, though. 2 stars, people are talking firmly in that rumor category. 3 stars, it's pretty darn likely, but it's not set in stone. 4 stars, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a done deal. So back to Lewis now. The guy we saw last year who, for whatever reason, has never been the Cowboys' number 1 corner. They always view him as maybe he's the number 4. Anthony Brown played over him. Cheeto played over him. Did a good job in run support in particular. 7 tackles for loss when he was the nickel corner. There were some mistakes, make no mistake about it, but there were plenty of plays as well. In coverage, though, not quite what you're looking for. He wasn't targeted that much, but when he did, there was a frequent amount of getting beat. 4 touchdowns allowed, more touchdowns than he had pass breakups. That's normally not what you want out of your corner, be it nickel or otherwise. Meanwhile, Awuzie battled a lot of injuries this year, only played in 8 games. This was not the year either guy, frankly, was hoping for in their contract season. But he also picked off a pass, had 5 pass breakups. He can be a number 2 corner for you. I think Jourdan Lewis, in reality, especially with the way the Cowboys view him, I think he's a little bit more of a nickel corner. So when you face Lewis and you face Awuzie here, what you're looking at in terms of this situation and the role they would play, I think Awuzie would cost more as a potential / reality number 2 corner. Jourdan Lewis, I think, would cost less as a potential nickel. And because of the cost, I think that's why ESPN's Todd Archer says Lewis is more likely to return than Awuzie. And frankly, I think that makes some sense. And I think you could even maybe, the Cowboys didn't do it much last year, but they did it a couple times, see Lewis get some safety reps as well. But what I want you guys to do is pick a corner for me. Let's say that Lewis is a little bit cheaper than Cheeto, of course acknowledging that so far in their NFL careers, Awuzie has been the better corner at this point. If you could only bring back one of them, on the Dallas Cowboys. Which one would you prefer? If you want to bring back Jourdan Lewis, type in L in the comment section. If you'd rather bring back Chidobe Awuzie, simply type in A. Now, we will break down everything the Cowboys do this free agency period, so make sure you guys are subscribed. The link is right there below, youtube.com/CowboysTV. You hit that big red button, you'll be subscribed. You don't miss any of the videos we'll do for you guys here at Chat Sports. Anytime there's a major signing, all the rumors, trades, draft stuff, we got you guys covered. So don't miss out. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. It's available at youtube.com/CowboysTV. Let's hit free agency then here. Different side of it, on different teams' free agent. How about signing Marcus Williams? I would love it. I'm not going to get my hopes up, though. Just the 1 star on this one. Floated by Inside the Star, and it's a good idea. I like the suggestion of, hey, the Cowboys, they need a free safety. If you just want to spend big and figure out that need altogether, Williams makes a lot of sense. And if you want to make him not the number 1, the number 2, 3, 4, whatever, I'm fine with that. I think the thought process behind it is very accurate. However, money matters. The Cowboys don't want to spend it. The Saints, by the way, are expected, per ESPN, to prioritize finding a way to keep Marcus Williams. The guy we've seen, outside of that unfortunate one play against Minnesota, you guys know which one I'm talking about, has been a legitimate free safety. He can play single high. He has range. 7 pass breakups to interceptions. He's not going to be an elite guy in the box, but you know what? I don't need him to be that player. So if I could bring in Marcus Williams, plug him in at free safety, roll it back and give Donovan Wilson a true starting chance for an entire season, tell you what, I feel good, at least for 2021, about my safety position. I would view that need as fulfilled, and you can get some draft depth if you want as well. I just don't think the Cowboys are going to spend big. That hasn't been their MO in free agency. It's always been, we got to save the money, got to have some cap space, and then they don't give it to Dak Prescott, which all their moves said they were going to. So I would love to get Marcus Williams. I'm just not going to get my hopes up this time.